Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we're going to be breaking down the Lightbearer faction. Now, interesting enough, as we've progressed the last 5 years within AFK Arena, the Lightbearers have been a faction that had a little bit of traction overall when it comes to the awakened version of Belinda, and now we're seeing Lucius. And of course, with the support heroes, we see a little bit of niche play with some of them, including Scarlet and of course the awakened version of Thane, but overall not a huge impact. But I want to hop over, want to check out Rockaday's guide and really break this down when it comes to Lightbearers. So let's hop over and we'll take a look at this. So this is the Lightbearer guide. Again, big shout out to Rockaday. And I believe this is the updated because it doesn't include all of the heroes. But when we start looking in here, the first one that he has on here is Gwyneth. Now overall, Gwyneth was a very niche hero. We've seen this hero used very short term. You can see relative strength is bad as it is right there, relative strength plus the kit strength, a couple other things. So the only place that we are seeing Gwyneth as it sits today is within the Lightbearer Tower, and you can see overall even getting a plus 30 signature item is average. Even looking at that 3 of 9 and that 9 of 9 furniture, which is actually good. Engraving this hero is bad. Getting the plus 40 signature item is bad. Not really, again, I wouldn't recommend building the hero for the simple fact that he is going to be niche in formations and only used in the tower. Now, on the flip side of that, we have Jerome. Now, Jerome's hero summary, he is absolute top tier, and we know he is getting a skin, which is going to be coming up on Tuesday. But overall, you can see the plus 20, the plus 30 is very good. Even looking at the plus 40, it is very good. The plus 40 further increases the damage debuff from the ape an extra 15%. Well, it's good, not transformative enough. And the big thing with this is if you're getting him a plus 40 signature item, which is good, the big thing in here is the PvP aspect. That's really where it does come in. When you look at the regular gameplay, Curse Realm, Nightmare Corridor, not really super effective to get that plus 40 signature item, but everything else with him is very good, and he is a top tier hero for sure. Now, looking at the awakened version of Lucius, he is another one, relative strength, top tier hero. Now, the big thing with the awakened version of Lucius is you have to have, and you really do have to build them out very, very high. Even looking here, you know, the plus 40 signature item is a top tier. 9 of 9 furniture is a top tier. And overall, the recommended build on him is that plus 40 signature item. But most players are looking for like an 18 furniture, if not a little bit higher. And the engraving, you can see the 30 and the 60 on there are good. Most players take the awakened version of Lucius to a 72 engraving. So it is a lot higher than we traditionally see. Now, when we think of his plus 40 signature item, it resets the cooldown of Assault and Bodyguard whenever Lucius uses his ultimate, which of course, it kind of feeds into the 4-hit combo, making him amplify his damage, which is the big reason I've always said if you're looking at the awakened version of Lucius, and if you're looking to build this hero out in the entirety, you have to build them out, and you have to build them out very, very high. It requires a big build for him to really perform. If you have him underperforming, reason could be you don't have him built out to where he needs to be. Then we look at Adrian and Elyse. This is another one, very good relative strength. The thing with this hero is, as you can see, the plus 40 signature item. The plus 40 signature item is really ideal. That is the one that increases the damage to all allies, which of course is quite valuable. And the worth for the cost, again, there is a little bit of an RG factor, but that is what makes Adrian and Elyse really do exceptionally well. The plus 30 is good. The plus 40 is even better because now all allies are doing that extended amount of damage. So depending where the hero is used, and of course, if you don't have that plus 30 signature item, not really a big use to use the hero, then of course, the plus 30 engraving on here is pretty well, does pretty well. And then we have Rakul. Overall, a lot of players, you can see average strength. Again, it seems like at this point, most of what we're seeing with him is within the Lightbearer Tower. We're not seeing a lot of extension outside of there. Even thinking the plus 20 signature item, even the 3 of 9 and the 9 of 9 furniture are good on him, but overall not a huge build with this hero. And of course, Rockaday really breaks it down to such an incredible breakdown that he does. I love the guides that we see here. Now, there's also a second part to this, which is the changelog. So this is the part I really want you to look at and focus on because you'll see he focuses on the meta, the signature item, the furniture, the engraving, and then of course the plus 40 signature items really makes a big difference. And you can see where they've kind of gone from when he's done this before. So right in the very beginning, the awakened version of Belinda used to be the absolute top tier. Right now, she falls into the very good, which is just below the top tier. And overall, looking at this hero, utility-wise, we're seeing it in a lot more niche formations. A lot of players are also saying with the new Celestial, the awakened Celestial that we're getting, it could replace or will replace the awakened version of Belinda. Don't know exactly if that's true because the hero is so new, but they're thinking overall with the AoE damage and everything else they do, that is going to be the replacement. That might be the nail in the coffin for the awakened version of Belinda, short of some niche formations. Now, of course, the awakened version of Thane was top tier. Now he drops down to good. So again, when you think of my tier list and you're thinking of like that SSS, that absolute top tier, and then you have the S, you know, the double S and then the single S. This is where, again, the niche formations, it seems like he's starting to drop down a little bit. Even here, the plus 20 was top tier, top tier, top tier. Now, as of now, I'm still seeing a lot of less utility when it comes to this hero in general. Then we have some of the older heroes, even from bad to very bad, average to very bad. Now, these, of course, even though they do fall in the very bad, at this point of AFK Arena, I really wouldn't build them short of tower progression. Now, of course, once you get to 2 teams within the Lightbearer Tower, when you get into 3 teams in the Lightbearer Tower, you do need 15 heroes to fill that niche. So what I do personally, and again, if you're newer to AFK Arena, is building out these heroes that are very bad, doing like a plus 20 signature item on them, when you're building it out a little bit, because it does give them a little bit of a stat boost, gives them a little bit of an ability boost. But going above and beyond that, I don't build any of these. I would not build any of these heroes any further than really that plus 20 signature item, which of course is going to be used exclusively for the tower. Now, of course, within the faction, we have a couple like Estrilda, still good and average, still does have the utility there. And this is where we kind of talk about heroes that, even though the hero might not be used as much, it doesn't mean the utility of the heroes go down or really disappear in their entirety. Because even looking in here, a lot of heroes are falling into very bad. Even looking at Hendrik, good, kind of falling into bad. Now, overall, when you think, again, Lightbearer wise, Hendrik still has some utility. You know, Maro still has some utility, just for the simple fact, if you're locked in and really looking at just the tower itself, going to have some utility within there. Now, of course, like we said here with some of the heroes, some of the support heroes, they have a tendency with Palmer, you know, with a lot of them, they have a tendency to stay around, and they stay around a lot longer than we see with the traditional damage dealing heroes. Because again, as they're replaced, as other heroes come out, their utility is not worthless. Still does have a lot of utility with a lot of heroes. That's why even when you look down here and you look at Rain, when you look at, you know, Isabella, when you look at Rowan, they are still very good, even going into average, because of the support capacity. If you don't have the ability to build out a lot of these brand new, super, super strong Celestials and Hippos when it comes to heroes like Nox, that are just absolutely broken in the space, these are the heroes that are the drop back. These are the heroes that you use. Now you can see Scarlet goes top tier to good, a little bit down. The big thing with Scarlet, of course, is the Nightmare Corridor. The ability to burst damage very fast is the reason why players were still using her. As we continue to see the power creep, we're going to see kind of her used less and less and less. Yeah, 2 years later, very few heroes keep their spot in meta. That is especially true at carry units, like we were saying, that already have kind of the niche. The power creep when it comes to damage, that's why Ainz, that's why Lucretia, that's why all of those heroes have seen the power creep. But when it comes to these support heroes, we do see a lot more utility in the support heroes. That's the reason why, even thinking draconic heroes, a hero like Lan does have quite a bit more staying power and utility, just because of the hero being an actual support hero. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it. Did want to hop over. We can hop back on AFK Arena, but overall with the Lightbearers, again, there are probably 3 to 4 heroes that really are the breakout heroes that you do want to build. But of course, like with any of the Awakened heroes, they do require a very high investment to unlock all of their skills and abilities. But Lightbearers is still a very good, strong faction, and you always want to be farming out the towers, because that is going to give you access to all of the heroes in their entirety as you continue to get more Stargazer scrolls and also getting those time emblems. So, all right, guys, again, big shout out to Rockaday. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.